Welcome back to more Mini Rogue. Today playing as the cleric, which I just looked back at the runs and videos I've done, and I'm pretty sure the cleric is the only character we've not yet played a run with, and also not won with, because for all the other ones we've won a run with them. So this might be a momentous occasion today where I finally managed to win a run with every character. And the cleric is from the expansion as well, I think from the Depths of Damnation, and that is an alternative character with the same archetype or class as the priestess and the same weapon, it seems, same vibe. And the priestess was very strong, and I like her a lot because you have that strong healing. Well, it only heals 2, but as an exploration skill that still is strong, because that means every floor or every area you can heal for 2 and remove curse at will. And if you find a bonfire or a hermit which refresh your skill, you can double up on the exploration skill and heal for 4. So that has been very strong for us in the past. And together with the combat ability, which also is quite strong, which is a divine tribute, allowing you to sacrifice HP for damage. I usually did it where I think I did it on camera in the run, but also when playing this game with friends and co-op, we usually did it where the priestess heals up for the final boss fight, and then one of the 2 phases, usually the final phase of Orc, which has 20 HP, priestess just hurts herself for 10, immediately smiting the second phase into oblivion. And the cleric is an alternative to that, so also healing themed, but different, not so offensive in combat, or not at all. As you can see, the combat ability is healing for 4, and the exploration ability is healing for 3, which might seem a little weird, but the exploration actually heals all players, so this really is a character that is much stronger in co-op than in solo, because suddenly you can heal both players for 3 HP each. Now I do still think this is going to be a strong character. We just can't rely on a combat ability to do damage as with many of the other characters. You know, even the thief, which I said in the previous videos didn't really have an offensive combat ability, can still, with its combat ability, produce maybe a poison or fire potion and use that. Yeah, so cleric starts at 9 HP, which is a little low, but also with a healing potion, so really at 15 if you want. And 2 food, average, 1 armor, which is nice. And that's it. No gold, no XP. And I think we'll just jump right into it. I don't really have a strategy here to play around the character, because I don't think there's much that interacts with the healing in an interesting way. It's just nice to have healing. So let's look at our first room, and that's the hermit immediately. Now I don't think we can use our exploration ability before entering the very first room. I know you can do, if you just delved and are entering a new area, you can use your exploration ability before the first room of the area. So we can't really double up on our healing ability here. Do we want to do any kind of swapping or sharing a meal? I think I'll share the meal, because even if we're missing the food later, that's just going to hurt us for 3 HP again. So in that case it'll come out net 0, and like this we still have more chances of finding food. Let's continue. Oh, and the bonfire, okay. Interesting start here, but also treasure. Treasure is tempting, would only give us 1 coin, and we don't have great chances of finding something from it. So I think why not start doing what I just said and stockpile HP. So we heal for 3 using our exploration and move to the bonfire, which will then refresh our exploration skill, allowing us to use it again soon. And do we just get the 1 XP? Piece of food would be nice as well. Let's start with the XP for now, because I do want to level up quickly. You always want to do so, but especially because the cleric doesn't have much offensive capabilities, I think leveling up is a great way to get a little stronger in combat. And the lab, we don't have any gold to trade for potions, so I don't think that's of much interest to us, so we'll just be fighting the monster here. And we do have that piece of armor, so not even necessary. So the monster had 6 HP and we rolled a double 6, which means we crit the monster, killing it, gaining another XP here. Okay, very smooth sailing so far on the first floor, and we get our choice of 2 animal companions with only 1 piece of food. Now I wish I would have taken that food at the bonfire. Yeah, so taking the crow, I like the crow nowadays, and that would mean we starve, but we do have 1 more heal in us from our exploration. Could also take the wolf and then immediately use the exploration to discard it and have it be a net 0 trade. But I think I actually want the crow, despite the starvation. So let's take it. And now when moving on to the final room here, we'll use our exploration again. Healing for 3. Now we delve, starving for 3. And we look at our boss here, the ghoul. That's annoying. I don't like fighting the ghoul as the first boss, because it just usually, and that's a deathbed, okay, glad we didn't go there, because it usually just impedes your progress, because it has quite a bit of HP, and so the fight takes a while. Our armor won't help us against it, and it'll drain XP from us. And I feel like when you fight the ghoul on the first level, afterwards you're usually worse off than if you would have fought a different boss, because it does drop 1 extra XP, but usually you get hit more than once. So yeah, in sum, it feels to me like you get less XP from the ghoul fight than from a usual boss fight, just because of that XP drain. But so far, very relaxed first floor, or first area I should say. There we are. So let's look under here. The crypt. Not sure if that went off screen when I flipped it. What do we do? Well, first we have to read the lore card. The villager. A catatonic villager sits in the corner, emaciated. He looks to you and softly says, "There is no difference between banishment and the king's blessings. Both lead to this dungeon. None can speak ill of the king like that, but maybe this man has more wisdom than meets the eye." We can either give thanks, which will gain us 1 XP, or berate the man, respect the king, gaining 2 XP but being blinded. 2 XP is tempting, especially because of the ghoul coming up, but I'm not one to be blinded here voluntarily and then run into all sorts of dangers. So we're not really in a position to take that lower option. Let's roll on the crypt. A success on a 2, which would be the old potion which cleanses and then blinds us. We don't want to get blinded, as I said. So either 2 gold or fight the ghost. Now, nice thing about the ghost is only does 1 damage and we have 1 armor. And HP isn't our main concern because of our healing at the moment. So I think fighting the ghost might be kind of nice for us here. So I will do that. It has 10 HP. But if we can manage to get to level 2 for the ghoul fight, that would be sweet. So let's attack here. And that is 3 damage. And the ghost actually crits, so it will do 1 damage to us. I will just use our ability in combat here. Healing for 4, because that is 1 HP more than we would get when we use it as an exploration ability. Keep rolling. Okay. We miss, but the ghost doesn't crit, so it doesn't pierce our armor. Let's just keep rolling. We crit, and the ghost crits as well, which will just be 1 damage, so that's fine. But we have the chance of maybe killing it before. It's at 7 HP and we're doing 6 at the moment. Now we're doing 9. Very nice. Prevented that 1 damage, got 2 XP from it. Fine ghost fight, I think. And we left with more HP than we went into the fight because of our ability. Another monster. Or the bandit. Both not terrible, because the 1 extra XP will have us level up. We can't pay the toll, we don't have the gold or the food. So we would fight the bandit, and the bandit is just straight up worse. They have the same HP, give the same reward, but the bandit blinds us, and we don't want that. So the monster is the clear choice here. Or using the crow, but I think the monster's fine for now. It only has 6 HP. Let's roll here. 4 damage. These crits, these monster crits are getting on my nerves. Okay, so we do 4 damage and it crits us for 2. Let's roll again. Okay, we do no damage and it crits us for 2. Do we do a feat? It's like we can spend 2 HP to do a feat to hope to prevent it doing 2 HP to us, so really comes out in a wash. Let's just, let's do the feat, why not? Yeah, there's 2 damage, very nice. And that's the fight. 1 XP for us. So level 2 before the first boss, I like that. Though we won't stay level 2 for long when we fight the ghoul. But at least for 1 attack. And we do still have that healing potion, so HP is looking fine. We've not found any gold. And we're low on food still. Okay, so there's the treasure, the real treasure, not the mimic. Is the fountain interesting? Not really. We don't need a cleanse. We don't want 1 coin, and at the risk of this being a bad card. Yeah, this is one thing I've really learned over all of these videos, how valuable this central position before the boss is, just so you don't get screwed by having to go to this card or this card and not having a choice. So we'll go here. We'll get 2 gold actually, because we've just fought a monster. And now with our better odds at a success, maybe we can snag a potion here. We definitely can. No, we can't, because that's not a potion. That is 1 XP or 1 piece of gold. We'll take the XP. That's a nice buffer for the ghoul fight. Let's continue. Damp cave or lab. We do have the gold now, but we don't have the food to craft any potions. And the damp cave could give us food, which we need. So let's go there. Worst would probably be getting poisoned. Fighting the ghost would be fine. I wouldn't mind it. That actually would maybe be kind of nice. 2 more XP. The 5, the glowing cap, is also 2 XP. So really most of this is good for us. That's a failure, but on a 3 that's just 1 piece of food. I'll take that any day. Let's continue to the ghoul. 16 HP and pierces our armor and drains our XP, but we've really managed to get our XP up there on this floor and the last one as well, but to actually have 1 XP buffer before the ghoul fight. Very nice stuff. So let's go. We don't have a combat ability, we just roll. Kinda mediocre here. But I won't start doing feats now. Not for XP anyways. Could do for HP. Maybe that's the kind of strength of the priest, that you can be a bit more loose with your HP and therefore do more feats using HP in combat. Still not sure. I don't think I'll do a feat here. Because these are kind of like, I'd be re-rolling the 2, hoping for something better. But we'll just do the 6 damage, taking the ghoul to 10. We take 1, losing 1 XP in the process. And now we roll again. Mixed bag here. 6. No. I kind of want to do a feat and re-roll the crit to get to 10. Now what's the correct order here? I feel like re-rolling the crit first because it's free, and in case this gives us a 4 or a 5 or a 6, we are already done with the fight. So 6 damage, adding... Okay, never mind. So 0 damage. Things just got interesting. I feel like... Do we want to do feats now? Do we want to be a bit reckless with our HP? Or just take the 1 and then... but that would level us down. So I think... Let's do 1 feat. Okay, 3 damage, taking him to 7. Okay, so by now it's very unlikely that we're gonna kill him if we do a feat on the other die. So I'll stop here. So we'll do the 3 damage, take 1 HP and 1 XP of damage and roll again at level 1. And there's a 5, and now the fight just slowed down because we're doing half as much damage as we were before. So we do 5, take 1, lose 1 XP, and we continue here. And we finally kill him. Yeah, so that's what I meant. So the ghoul gives on the floors here 3, 4 and 5 XP, while the other bosses I think give 2, 3 and 4. So this gives 1 XP more, which doesn't really compensate the fact that it drains your XP, because most of the time you're gonna get hit more than once. In this case we lost 3 during the fight and now we gain 3 back, so really this boss fight didn't really give us any XP or any progress leveling up, which that's why I always think it feels bad to fight the ghoul as your first boss, because early on you want to really rush getting the XP and the levels. Well, anyways, we still get a reward here, 2 gold and a roll. 2 XP or a poison potion. Do we want to take the 2 XP now to compensate for that fight a little bit? Poison can be really nice as well, but I think I want to rush the XP. XP is just too good. Leveling up early is so strong. Okay. I'll quickly reset the floor here, or let's delve first. So we spend our food, we refresh our character, and now I'll shuffle up the deck. And let's continue. Our HP is looking kind of low, but we still have that healing potion and our skill, our ability. Reason I'm not using the healing potion immediately is at the moment we don't really have much space issue with potions. If we find more, we'll use the healing potion. And in theory, of course, you could get up to full HP and then have the healing as additional 6 HP on a boss fight, which might be very nice for us. Okay, so let's look under our first card here, the Shrine. I don't love that, but I don't think it's worth using the crow on this. So let's just move here, spend the coin and hope for a fine roll. So not a 1 or a 2. A 6, well, 1 HP. Not great, but we'll take it. Let's continue here. The alcove. Or the merchant. Okay, so now we just gave away one of our coins on the shrine. But visiting the merchant might still be good for us. And we have the crow, so we don't really have much to gain from the alcove. Now I would like to get our armor up there. I've really appreciated the high armor on the thief runs we've done, especially the last one. Both on the first 2 floors, just being able to fight the ghost and not have to worry about it, farm XP from the ghost that way. And also on the final boss, just having Ogg deal essentially half damage, 4 instead of 8, would be great. Now do we sell our healing potion for 3 gold so we can get some armor? I'm tempted to do so, just because these early pieces of armor will probably save us more HP than that 1 healing potion, and we can heal so easily, at least somewhat. Yeah, I'll try that. Feels a little sketchy, but I think this might be worth it. So sell that for 3, going to 6. Buy a piece of armor. Doesn't sell food, sadly, the merchant. And for the final coin, we can just get 1 HP. Let's continue here. Secret passage. Or the strong monster. Ooh, but it drops food on this floor, so this might be something we want to try. 15 HP doing 4 damage is a tall order, so that will probably hit us at least once. We can heal using our combat, but it doesn't pierce armor, and we just bought the extra armor, so it would only be doing 2. Yeah, I think if we still had food, I wouldn't fight the monster there, but because we are out of food, and also it's again the center card, so we'll have a choice afterwards, this might be an option for us. I'll use the combat immediately, healing for 4. Let's just hope it doesn't crit, that would suck. And it doesn't, but we don't really either, but we do a lot of damage. So 10 damage there. And it will hit us for 4, which is reduced by 2 because of our armor. And also I miscalculated, I only did 5 to it. We did 10 damage leaving it at 5, not leaving it at 10. Ooh, okay. Things just got interesting. Again, same situation. Do a feat to try to prevent 2 damage. Or just take the damage from the monster. Which is also 2 damage to roll again. But in this case, doing a feat would have us roll 1 die for 2 HP. And just taking the damage from the monster and going to the next round would have us roll 2 dice. Also, I think I just took 1 more damage than I should have. So let's just continue here. And that's enough. Okay, went about as well as I had hoped. Got hit twice and healed for 4. So net 0 on the HP, but we got a piece of food. So essentially used our combat skill, our character skill, to gain 1 piece of food. I think that's fine. Treasure or trap, easy choice. Let's visit the treasure, gaining 2 gold here, and hope for something good. Another healing potion would hit the spot, more HP would be nice, armor. I think just about everything would be good here, because we don't have any potions and so on. Well, could just be nothing as well. It's fine, I guess. Let's continue. Moving down here, spending the food and looking at our boss, which is gonna be the Heliomancer. Ooh, it's one of the newer ones, I think from the Depths of Damnation. Has the same stats as the other basic bosses from the base game, like the Cursed Dragon and the Spider Queen, but this one blinds you instead of the poison or the curse. But most importantly, it doesn't pierce armor, so our 2 pieces of armor will help us there. Okay, I'll quickly reset the area here. Okay, there we go. Shrine again. Wasn't that the first card on the previous area as well? Okay, let's hope for no curse. Oh, that's a curse, so thanks to us spending the 1 coin, we don't get poisoned at least. I don't like the shrine, man. Merchant. Or the damp cave. Now the merchant would be tempting if we had any coins. I mean, we could now sell our armor again to have coins and then, I don't know, buy potions or heal up, but that seems like a very bad trade after we just sold potions to gain the armor. And the damn cave could give us food. Yeah, let's take that, go there. And we even rolled a success despite the curse, because the curse reduces everything by 1 essentially, which means 5s are not successes, but 6s still are. So we rolled the 5, which is 2 XP, and we could turn that into losing food or getting poisoned, so we just take the 2 XP and be happy with it. The forge, or the trap. Forge seems fine, because that might just be free armor, very likely to be actually, and fighting the ghost, though it drains XP on this floor, we have enough armor to block that completely, so as long as it doesn't crit us, we won't lose XP. So the forge seems much better here than the trap, just again will be forced to go here. But since we still have the crow, I think we can risk it. So if this card is very nasty, we can just use the crow, and the forge just seems so good. Let's roll. And a success again, despite the curse. So, because again this is a 6, not a 5. That's a 3, we could turn that into a 2, which is the same. Or the 4, which just gives us an extra XP. So we gain a piece of armor and a piece of XP, or a point of XP. Yeah, good stuff. Armor is getting up there. Let's see here, nasty monster. Again. Ooh, okay, so interesting. Do we use the crow to not have to fight right before the boss? Especially because we're still cursed and we'd like to somehow get rid of that. But the monster would give us food and we need that. And if we use the crow, I mean, it's unlikely we're gonna find some card that allows us to cleanse the curse and gives us food in the process. I don't even know if one like that exists, what card that would be. Yeah, I think let's use the crow. Let's use the crow here. I don't want to fight this right before the boss. Draw the top card of the room deck. The alcove. Okay, I mean that could allow us to cleanse the curse if we're very lucky, but low chances of that since we need the success first. Okay, let's roll here. Double successes, and that's the 5. Okay, never mind. So we just rolled amazingly, getting the miraculous amulet here, and I'll use that immediately to get rid of this stinking curse. Get rid of the alcove, and now I'm feeling a lot better about the boss fight here. Still gonna be starving, sadly, but you know, we still have our heal open, so let's enter the boss fight here. It has 16, the Heliomancer, and we'll use our combat ability immediately, healing for 4. I hate that we're gonna get blinded here and start the next floor blinded, but not much we can do about it. Ooh, and a crit. This is bad, but we can't really do much about it. So 7 damage, putting the Heliomancer at 9, crits us for 4, and blinds us. Nasty, nasty stuff. Let's keep rolling. Let's hope we can do 9 damage. Maybe get a little lucky here. Yep, definitely did. So 10 damage, taking the Heliomancer out. Got hit once, but it critted. If it didn't crit, that would just have been 1 HP. Like this, it was 4. So completely deleted all the HP we gained from our heal here. But we do get 3 XP, putting us at 15. And a roll on the rewards card. 2 gold. And a roll. A 1. That's a fire potion or 2 XP. I think I'm rushing the XP because then we are 1 away from level 3, which would be really nice. Okay, so how is the run looking so far? I think kinda mid. Like we've had some good luck with the armor and so on, but we're kinda struggling. We don't have any potions, and our HP keeps floating around the halfway mark, like around 10. Because we are healing, but also taking a lot of damage. And now we're also blinded, so that could mean anything for the next floor. Just means we have to get lucky with the rooms we visit. Yeah, I'm not thrilled, but I'm also not devastated. So let's move down, starve, and gain our skill back. Hermit or Bonfire would hit the spot to do a little more cheeky healing. But for now, I'll reset the floor. And there we are on floor 3. I forgot to get rid of the heliomancer here. And we don't even get to look at our first room before we walk in there. The library. Yeah, so this would have been a situation where we could have healed and then hoped for a skill refresh in the library, but because we were blinded, we didn't know it was coming. So we just roll on the library. I don't know what we'd be hoping for here, at least a success. Okay, so that's the 3, which is the skill refresh, which is nothing for us. Turn that into a 2 is also nothing, it's a skill refresh as well. But the 4 is 1 XP, which is exactly what we needed to level up. So that was fine, good even. Let's continue. Do we want to go down or right? I think I'll go right. Let's look here. Whoop. The lab, okay. Yeah, most of the times I see that card, I just do nothing there. I'm not a huge fan of it. You have to be in a kind of good position to be able to use that. You know, have the food and the gold and the HP to spare to be able to make a potion there. Sorry, I think I just knocked the camera. Yeah, like this, I think we're just doing nothing. And again, I'll go to the middle so we have the choice. We probably won't, because we will probably still be blinded, but in case we get cured, you know, both of these cards essentially have the same chance of being the same thing and curing us. So if it happens, we want to be in a position where we can choose. But it doesn't. It's the armory. Still not bad. We haven't run into any nasty monster yet or something like that. So for being blind, this is fine. And we do get 1 free feed. I'll take it. Okay. The rusty dagger. Yeah, no food is worrying me. And at this point, I think I might use our skill, although I still can on the last, when moving on to the last room. Okay, I'm kind of, you know, if we run into combat, we want to have the skill for combat because it's stronger. But obviously we don't want to just not use it at all. So let's go down here. Okay, that's the trap. I will, because I'm, no, I can't. Okay, sorry, I was confused there. This might have us fall down or lose HP. Let's just hope for a success. That's a success on a 6, which is the perception potion. Not bad, good stuff that could help us with some traps in the future. And we'll use our exploration here, healing for 3 at least, before moving down and starving for 3 again. Yeah, so far, because of our lack of food, our healing has essentially been just counteracting our starvation the whole time, which isn't ideal. Okay, we refresh our skill, but at least now we're level 3, which is good. And yeah, blindness is annoying, and I feel like it also takes the fun out of the game a bit. You know, the game is very random in the first place, so you have to get lucky. But the little bit of, you know, decision making that there is in this game is often which room to choose to go to. And if that's taken away by the blindness, you're just gambling, I feel like. And your odds are way worse also. But yeah, I think it's a cool effect to have in the game. It makes it interesting, but obviously if you're stuck with it for a long time because you just can't find a cleanse or something like that, yeah, it can really take the fun out of it a bit, at least in my opinion. Yeah, so we'll hope that we can find a cleanse on this next floor. And I've talked enough that I don't even need to cut here. I think previously I said we were looking kind of meh. I think that's still the case. We have our 3rd level and we have our 3 pieces of armor. And now the perception potion, which we might be able to turn into something good. But HP and food wise, there's a lot to be desired here. So we move into our first room without looking at it. Oh, empty shelter is quite nice. So we heal up to 10 and let's hope we can just find maybe a healing potion here. Don't really want to fight the ghost, to be fair. A 1. Okay, that won't be a healing potion, and turning it into a 2 doesn't do anything. 2 XP, a poison potion or a fire potion? That's a good question. Feel like a fire potion at this level could still save us like 1 round of combat by speeding up the combat. The 2 XP would be nice to get closer to that full XP situation where you start healing from fights. And just to be able to do some feats actually. Yeah, I'm still gonna take the XP. I'm sorry, disrespecting the potions a bit here. Let's continue. Oh, okay. I guess we're going down. Out of habit I started turning over the cards and we're still blinded. I forgot, didn't flip the thing. Okay, a monster. That's the undead arbalist. Doing 6 damage and poisoning us. Okay. Would really like to have the fire potion here. But oh well. Also I just realized we have our free feat from the armory, so the XP for feats might not have been necessary even. That's 8 damage. Let's see what this crit turns into. Okay, another 3, so that's 11. And it is 12 HP. Yeah, be stupid not to use our feat on the X here. And that's enough, so we're doing 15 damage. Don't even have to get hit and worry about the poison. Gaining 2 XP. Nice, getting closer to that 23 XP. That went fine. Let's go to the middle again. Same reasoning as before. Ooh, treasure. 2 gold for us. And maybe a shot at a holy potion? No. Okay, I thought the treasure chest could have a holy potion, but it can't. So no chance of cleansing. Oh, actually I just realized, wait. I might have been a little stupid. Doesn't the perception potion, I was just looking at the symbol, doesn't the perception potion cure blindness? Yeah, it does. I just looked on the player aid here. That's a bit of a niche use of the perception potion that I completely forgot about, because most times we just use it as a skill check. But we can totally cure our blindness with the perception potion, and I forgot, so we could have done that the whole time from when we got it from the trap. Well, feels a little stupid now. I'm gonna do it after this. Let's roll here first for the treasure. That's a success on a 2. It's kind of crummy. Again, I want a frost potion, I want healing, I want armor. 1 XP. Fine, I'll take it. And let's use our perception potion to be able to see again. Okay, good thing I remembered that. Otherwise that would have been frustrating. So the lab or the sentinel. Also didn't even use our combat skill yet, our healing. I just realized. Still have no food, so the lab isn't that attractive. Can't really do anything in the lab actually. because you need potions for the other options, and to craft potions you need food. So that would be nothing. The Sentinel seems nasty though. 16 HP, does 2 damage to us, as long as it doesn't crit, but poisons us and heals for 1. We get back 2 XP, and the lore card could be great. Could be that little boost we need, but could also be terrible. Remember, on one of the runs I think we got that, don't know if that was on camera or not, there's like a gelatinous cube kind of monster, and some other big monster as well on one of the lore cards, which is brutal, and I think I've lost runs twice to that in co-op. All that talk and no decision. We are level 3, let's try the Sentinel. I'm being risky here, because we need some kind of lucky break here. So I think just going to cards that do nothing will mean we slowly starve. So let's fight, heal up for 4 immediately. This might be stupid because of the poison, but let's see. We have enough XP to do feats, so maybe we can eke out 16 damage in one roll. Looking good so far. That's 11 damage. Let's do our feat here. Okay, so we're at 14. Not the feat, the crit. I didn't want to re-roll the crit, I just wanted to explode it. So 14 damage. Let's do 1 feat on this. So we're at 12 now. 15. Well, that's 1 damage lower than we need. Let's do 1 more feat. Okay, doesn't change. So 15 damage, not supposed to be, I guess. So we take 2. It heals for 1 and we get poisoned, which sucks. Let's continue here. Enough damage. Don't even add that up. We gain back our 2 XP and we get a lore card, which is what we did this for in the first place. So let's hope it's good. The well. You look down a seemingly empty well, wondering about its depth. Throwing a pebble inside, you hear it stop abruptly. Curious, you use the bucket to climb down. You reach the floor and light your torch, and you see an enticing red glint some distance from you. Each step you take further dissipates the darkness and reveals a beautiful gem on an ornate pedestal adorned with serpentine bas relief. Probably not the ox blood, but the gem could be valuable nonetheless. As you reach out to grasp it, you hear a slither at your feet and stop. You lower your gaze and see a gigantic snake, large like yourself and long like a drawbridge. You should have known. Okay, so we can do a preemptive attack if we were a Crusader or the Bones character. And for us, there's just the option to take the gem and sneak out. So on a success, we just gain 3 gold, and otherwise we have to fight the ghost. Let's see. That's a lot of successes, and we take 1 poison damage, gaining 3 gold and sneaking away without having to fight the ghost there, which I think would have been kinda bad. Doesn't even go through our armor. Shade maybe would have been fine even. Okay. Well, anyways, I don't know if that lore card was the lucky break I was hoping for, but at least it wasn't terrible. But we are poisoned now, so I feel kinda stupid for fighting the Sentinel. Let's continue here, taking our 3 starvation damage. There really is no food in this dungeon. And moving down, looking at our 3rd boss, the Creeping Death. Ooh, so this is a new one. We've not seen on camera, I think. And or I know for a fact. I've added this into the deck only recently, or somewhat recently, because this is one of the 2 promo cards at the Spiel convention in Essen from 2024. Nuts Publishing usually is at the Spiel convention, and at their booth you can get little packs of promo cards, but you can also order them on the Nuts website later, I think. And in our unboxing of the Old Gods and Depths of Damnation, I think I had some of the promo packs as well, some of the older ones ordered from their website. And last 2 years I also was at this Spiel convention, and then I picked up the promos for that year. And this is one of the promos for 2024. This is a new boss, which has a lot of HP but does very little damage, but inflicts both curse and poison. However, this doesn't pierce armor, and with our 3 pieces of armor we are technically safe against it as long as it doesn't crit us. So this seems like a card. I've not used it in play yet, I'm excited to fight it, but this seems like a card where if you have no armor it's gonna be brutal, because it's a long fight with curse and poison, but if you have enough armor you can just kinda breeze through the fight, hopefully, without taking much damage. Well, let's see. I'll quickly reset the area here and we'll continue. Let's look under our first room. This time we can see. Oh, the cursed relic. I don't like that. Okay, but we'll have to take it. We have no other choice because we don't have a crow. So we are cursed now and poisoned. And we're hoping for a merchant shrine or fountain. If we do find one, that could be sweet. Just get, for example, 2 food at the merchant for the relic. I would love that. Or just the 5 HP at the shrine. But yeah, in the past this usually stayed with us for a few floors before we could get rid of it. Monster, whoops, dropping the card, or the wolf. Can't take the wolf and don't have the food. Monster is a dire wolf, which actually does give us food, so I'll definitely be fighting that. 8 HP, always like seeing the dire wolf. 1 point of poison damage. Ooh, I'm messed up using my combat ability, but it's too late now. And that's enough damage, so we gain a piece of food. That is nice. Finally we can breathe a bit with the starvation. Might even be able to heal effectively on this floor because we don't lose the HP afterwards. Ugh, the sentinel again. I didn't like the sentinel fight last time. And the lore card we'd just be drawing at the secret passage as well. Let's just hope this isn't terrible. I mean, in theory, with the cursed relic, we want to make sure we see as many cards as possible. So we should go to the middle here, because who knows, maybe this is the merchant or the fountain. But I really don't want to fight the sentinel again. To be fair, we are already poisoned. But our HP is kinda... But we do get 2 XP afterwards, which will heal us for 2. We can use our combat skill. And I just want to get rid of the cursed relic. I want to maximize our odds at finding one of these 3 locations here, the merchant shrine or fountain. So I've just talked myself into fighting the sentinel again. Just that we are cursed this time as well. Okay, there goes the monster die, so it critted. No poison, but our curse... Ah, this sucks. And I forgot to use the combat ability again. Do we do a feat? No, I don't think so. We have to do 1 more roll anyways. So let's just do the 7 damage here, putting it at 9. take 5 from the crit. It heals back 1. Now this is looking bad. Okay, let's heal using a combat for 4. Okay, so that crit just really hindered us, or our odds, I should say. Oh, and it crits again. Hate this. Okay, 1 more point of poison damage. And I was happy about our crit, but we rolled the skull on the curse, so this will only be 7 damage, which is not enough, and we are dying from the crit, so we have to do some feats here. Have to look for more damage. That is not more damage. I don't even think it's possible at this point, right? Or it might be. If this turns into a 6, we're doing exactly 10 damage. Otherwise we're dead. Became a 2. Yeah, that ended quickly. Shouldn't have fought the Sentinel. Wow. Critted us twice. And yeah, that's that. Bad stuff. Wanna look under the cards here. The crypt or the tomb. Okay. Not much of a difference here. Okay. Well, that ended quickly. Was looking fine, but as I said, it was kind of teetering on the edge of this could go bad or could go amazing if we find some good stuff and are able to heal. And in this case it went bad. I think really the lack of food just kept cannibalizing our healing ability, and yeah, that sucked because our HP never went particularly high. The leveling went well. We were level 2 early, but yeah, again, the ghoul kind of put a damper on that. And I'm sad that I didn't get to fight the Creeping Death now. I want to see that card again in the future. Because that might have been less deadly for us than the Sentinel. I mean, could have still critted us, but you know, it does less damage. We already had the afflictions and would have given us 5 XP, which would have been 5 HP afterwards. Yeah. Okay, well anyways, I'll end the video here. I don't think starting another one now might get really long. So this will be it for today. But the priest, or the cleric I should say, interesting character. As I said, there are more exciting characters, but I do still think this is strong, just much stronger in co-op than in solo. Well anyways, I hope you had fun, I certainly did, and I'll see you next time on another attempt with the cleric, because I do still want to get that win with every character, and we can't let this stand. Okay, see you then, bye bye!